Hi everyone. Today I've got Alka with me. Hello Alka.
Hello ma'am.
Alka is from the final year EC department and she has cleared Wipro. And for a change we've come out. There could be a little bit of a noise, so please bear it with us. And Alka is going to tell us about Wipro and how she has cleared it. So Alka, please tell something about the rounds and how did you manage to clear?
Okay ma'am. It was
Alka, and you have to be a little loud.
Yes ma'am. It was there were basically 4 rounds. First was the apti round, then there was coding round, and then an HR a technical round, and after that an HR. So the online test, that is apti and coding, was conducted by AMCAT. It is one of the highly good companies, and the online test had quantitative apti, verbal, and logical reasoning. That was in the apti. There were 22 questions on the. I'm sorry, ma'am.
That's okay.
There were 22 questions in the verbal round.
Yeah.
That was, so they mainly highlighted on the verbal. Then
so verbal was the toughest part of the apti or the longest part?
The longest part, I would say. There were 14 questions in logical reasoning, and there were 16 questions in quantitative apti. So 22 is more for verbal. So in verbal, they mainly based on reading comprehension, so we had to read the passage and answer questions based on that. Then there were questions based on synonyms, acronyms, and sometimes there were questions like they have given a passage and the sentences are jumbled up, so you have to make it in the correct order according to the grammar. And there were questions based on that. Questions like there was some error in the sentence, you have to correct the error and put the proper sentence.
Alright, I just want to stop you and ask, was the passage very long for you, or was it, because many times students complain that the passages are very long?
Yeah, sometimes the passage was a little long, sometimes there were 2 passages, but there were questions about 5 to 6 based on the same passage. So you get to attempt 6 or 7 questions on the same passage, so it was easier.
So what is best way to do a passage? Read the whole thing and go to the questions, or see the questions and go to the passage?
It's like briefly read the questions so that you know what it's about, then read the questions, and if you're not sure, you have to go up and check on that.
Alright.
So the passage and all the questions based illustrated on that was in the same page. So you could go back to the passage and check on that.
Okay. And then after that?
After that, it was logical reasoning, where there were questions based on blood relations, and blood relations was mainly the thing, and then based on father and son's age, like that questions. It was.
Okay.
Then after that, it was quantitative apti, where you had questions based on work, distance, formula, speed, and the main highlight was on simple interest and compound interest. That was one of the main topics that they did.
Okay. So, this is what you study in your 8th, 9th, 10th maths?
Yeah, basically.
Alright. And do you forget it by the time you reach the final year?
Yeah, you definitely forget it, learning all the big maths problems. So you need to brush up on your apti and be fast in doing it. So the time limit is less. And the thing is, there is no negative marking, so it is easy for you to.
Alright. Also, no negative marking.
Negative marking.
So how long was the test?
About 1 hour.
1 hour. And the time was enough for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. And then after that?
After that, we had coding test.
Yeah.
So there were 2 questions, and the difficulty level was like moderate to difficult, but you could answer in many languages. It was C, C++, Java, and Python. So you could choose the language that you are confident in. So you have to be thorough in one particular language. So
which one did you choose?
I chose C because EC student. I prefer C, and it's easier to learn C.
All right.
I got 2 questions. One of them was like a father walks in a particular pattern, and the son has to follow in that pattern. So I had to count the number of steps. So it was like mainly logical thinking. The way I tackled that problem, and the way I understood the pattern and how to count the number of steps. It was mainly like checking your logical thinking level.
Alright. Alka, now this is taught to you in your syllabus, or do you actually refer something else for this?
For EC students, these are not actually taught in your syllabus. I'm not sure about the CS. So you have to check online problems that you are there. There are many online platforms for you to do your coding work.
So which one would you recommend? Or which one did you actually try?
I practice in HackerRank. That is one of the good ones.
Alright.
It's like it starts from basics to higher levels. So it's easier for students who are not CS to tackle.
Alright, so I think this has been repeatedly being coming from the students. HackerRank, HackerRath, these are the platforms which students.
It's good, and it's user friendly, and it's easier to learn actually.
Okay.
Other than you're given tough challenges, but in HackerRank you're actually given the solution so that you, even if you don't get it, you're able to understand how they did the problem.
All right. So even a second year, first year student,
Yeah, they can
easily start, and I think that should be the motto of every student. Today we had TCS actually coming and telling them about their code vita and all that, and it's open to the first years and second years. So students, please start getting into this. Don't wait till the faggot and start using these platforms. Yes, Alka.
Then I had a second question that was like based on strings and pointers. So that checked my technical question level on that. That's it. That's for coding level.
All right. So coding is quite an important part of the program.
Because few of my friends, they were not good at coding, so they didn't attempt that, so they failed the online test.
All right. So they have to attempt everything and clear everything.
Yeah. It's like there was no sectional cutoff, but you have to clear apti and you have to clear coding.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Then after that, we had a technical round. You either get a telephonic round or you get a face-to-face interview. I got a telephonic round, and mainly he asked me to introduce myself, and he talked about my projects, and he asked simple questions based on my projects. And since I'm ENC, he didn't ask me any core CS questions. It was mainly like what is pointers, why are they used, what is stack, or linked list, how do I use linked list in such a situation, and mainly that.
All right.
Yeah.
And usually, students, this is just for your info, telephonic rounds are much more tougher than personal interviews because they can't see you. So it's very difficult. So you have to communicate everything through your voice, and the clarity should be there, and always speak a little loud so that the clarity is there for the listener. And anyway, I think I should be doing a session on telephonic interviews. But for you, it was all right. You were comfortable.
Yeah. Sometimes the quality of the telephone is not good, so you have to be loud, and you might not even hear him. So you have to be actually concentrating on whatever he's speaking.
Yes.
And it's actually difficult to explain because in a face-to-face interview, you can use a pen and paper and tell this program works in a particular way. But in telephonic round, it's like a test for your communication skills.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're one of the few lucky ones, I think, who actually clear the telephonic, because telephonic is really tough. Yeah. Then anything else?
Technical was only so much, and after that we had an HR round.
Yeah.
HR round, we had an essay writing in the first online test. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. It was like I was given the topic to explain about the current education system. It was about within 400 words I have to finish the essay, and it checks my spelling, the grammar that I use, and mainly how I explain the topic. So it was not actually a cutoff in the first round. In the HR, they review that essay to know how well I speak or write an essay. He reviewed that and asked me based on that. And then he told me to introduce about myself. That's a basic question. And after that, he had gone through my resume. He saw a particular workshop. So he asked me to explain what was done in that workshop. So I was supposed to give a brief summary. So he was mainly checking how I explain a particular concept and how well I can communicate it to that concept to someone else. So that was only for HR.
All right. So what was your essay topic?
The current education system. So I was supposed to tell about the problems and how the education system currently works, and he just basically reviewed it, and he didn't say much about it. He just wanted to know how I would rate.
All right. And so Alka, any other thing or any tips for the viewers?
Mainly two topics that you have to be good at: apti and coding. If you pass that, the HR and technical are relatively easy. Apti, if you clear, it's like the basic thing that you have to do. I mean, all the companies have apti, and almost all the topics are same. So if you at least a few weeks before starting the placements, if you do it on a proper basis, you're actually good.
But Alka, no, if they start from the first year, maybe a few weeks before, if they do it company specific, isn't it?
But it has to be company specific, and it has to be tough training. But if you do it in first year, second year onwards, our colleges have provided apti labs in first year, second year, third year. So that was really helpful.
All right.
So by the time of final year, we were almost used to all the subjects.
Yeah. So thank you, Alka, very much. And it's bye from us, and hope to see you again.